Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the next episode within the GVU, the Geo's video update. As usual, my name is Curtis Edwards. I'm joined with Ben Mayer, and we have a special guest in the studio with us today. We are continuing, or actually, you know what? We're not going to continue. This is going to be the first in a new series, In Conversation With. And our special guest today is Ash McCarty. Ash, please tell us who you are. Tell us what you do for Dell.
Yeah, thanks, Curtis and Ben, for having me. I'm Ash McCarty. I'm the Director of Product Management for our multi-cloud portfolio.
Okay, so Ash, we wanted to start this series, and we're talking about the recent release of the APEX Cloud Platform for Azure. And in the conversation Ben and I were having, we felt that our viewers can benefit from some background into the APEX portfolio, where we started, and kind of just basically resetting the table as to where we started and where we are today. Can you give us a little bit of feedback on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, if you look at how we've evolved the APEX brand, when we first brought it to market several years ago, it was encompassed a modern consumption experience in the cloud. So providing customers the ability, like kind of the simplicity, the agility, and giving them kind of the full control over their infrastructure by providing them that kind of experience as a service experience across our Dell portfolio of software and hardware offers. Over the last years, as we've talked to customers, we've kind of leaned into helping them achieve their multi-cloud and modern cloud objectives. So we've expanded the APEX branding to a modern cloud experience, meaning it not only means that it's modern consumption anymore, you can still get all those same offers as a service offers, but now it expands into modern cloud, meaning any kind of cloud experience, whether it's private, hybrid, or multi, APEX as a brand will kind of support that experience with the customers.
Awesome.
Okay, so at Dell Technologies World, we announced the APEX Cloud Platform for Azure, for OpenShift, and for VMware. Could you maybe tell our viewers why customers should care and what's really behind those products?
Yeah, that's a great question. I get that question a lot ever since we made the announcements at DTW this year. Customers are wanting to know more about the APEX Cloud platforms and our overall multi-cloud strategy. So I kind of started this way because I kind of want to back into it on why we went this path. And based on a lot of surveys we do with customers, I talk to customers every day. My team talks to them weekly. We've gotten a lot of feedback that over 95%, I think, is one of the last surveys I saw, of customers are utilizing at least one or more public clouds. So that's a huge portion of our customer base. And what we're hearing from them is that the customers really love the cloud experience. They love the ability to quickly provision and the ability to scale on demand. But what they don't like is kind of the restrictions that come with running in the cloud, like the security concerns, the operational silos, the inconsistency between cloud services. And so we've moved to a strategy which Dell has called multi-cloud by design. And the idea is that many customers have kind of invested in the cloud, not strategically, and it's kind of been by default. And so we're trying to change the strategy for customers so that they can look at kind of a cloud smart approach. So they look at the best place to where they want to land their workloads and their applications, deploy that, whether it's in the cloud or on-prem. So the APEX Cloud platforms are just a piece of this, bringing that cloud operational model that customers are familiar with, the fast deployment, the automated management of your infrastructure, and bring that on-prem with each of those different partners, starting with Microsoft.
So Ben just asked about cloud to ground, but we also have ground to cloud, and isn't there something about an overarching kind of SaaS layer for management? Can you talk a little bit about what that triangle kind of looks like? And
yeah, there's
kind of recap a little bit about what we announced at DTW, kind of where it fits.
Sure. Yeah, there's really three pillars to our multi-cloud by design strategy. And it's about just delivering a better multi-cloud experience. And so the three pillars are, as we just talked about, and I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit more with the APEX Cloud platforms, is our cloud to ground strategy. And again, that is delivering that operational experience, cloud operational experience, and enabling those cloud services on premises with Dell infrastructure and our Dell software defined storage. The other pillar to this is our ground cloud strategy. And so that is enabling our Dell software assets, our file and block and our data protection assets, and being able to deploy those in your public cloud of choice to provide you that same kind of operational consistency and that same operational model that you have on-prem and that many customers are familiar with and used to running, and enabling you to run that in the public cloud. But really the kind of the glue that ties this all together, and if you want to think of this as kind of the air traffic controller for all those different pieces, is our SaaS control plane we're calling APEX Navigator. So the way customers can think about this is they log in APEX Navigator, and it will enable they'll have the ability to kind of deploy, manage, lifecycle, update, and then all of those software assets in each of the public clouds. And then the best part is, since you're going to have consistency running in the public cloud as on-prem, through APEX Navigator, you'll be able to orchestrate data mobility from on-prem to the cloud and vice versa. So pretty comprehensive strategy, for multi-cloud.
Now, you mentioned APEX Navigator. That was talked about at DTW. It is not available yet. That's a future later this year type of release, right?
Yes, at APEX Navigator. So we announced we had 9 announcements. So Jeff Clark was on stage and talked about at DTW making it real, and so I think we came out with a bang. And so we had 9 announcements. So you're right. Many of the announcements are coming later this year, but these are not things far off in the distance that you have to wait a long time. You're going to have most of these, especially the APEX Cloud Platform for Microsoft Azure, imminently, here releasing, and then we'll have additional APEX Cloud Platforms that we announced that will be coming later this year and then early next year, and then most of the block storage, file storage, will be coming, later this year as well as APEX Navigator.
So I don't, since we are on YouTube, we're out there for customers, we're out there for anybody to see, right? So there's certain things we can talk about, there's certain things we can't talk about, dig into, etc. But I wondered if you can give a little feedback as to the underpinnings of the APEX Cloud platforms, like the decisions we made, for example, utilizing the HCI system software from VxRail as the underpinnings, things along those lines. Can you share any feedback there as to why we did what we did and why we chose the partners that we chose as the initial?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if you look over the last 8 years, much of the success we've seen with VxRail, and we have hundreds of thousands of systems sold. We have a customer base of over 19,000 plus customers. It's been a tremendously fantastic part of our portfolio for Dell, but also what I hear every day from customers, and I'm not exaggerating this at all, is how much it makes their lives easier, right? The automation, the integration of all the outcomes with VMware has been tremendously valuable to them, enabling them to deploy a kind of a validated system and then automate all the different outcomes they do in their day-to-day business. And it really, what it allows them to do is to focus more on their day-to-day operations. So we looked at that, and we heard some of the challenges customers are having with other operating models and other ecosystems. And so we looked at the VxRail model and said, hey, why can't we replicate this? Much like the same level of integration we do with VMware with VxRail, why can't we replicate this with other partners? And that's what we did. We've partnered with Microsoft, Red Hat, and again with VMware. And the APEX Cloud platforms really take what we did really well with VMware on VxRail, and so that tight integration into a vendor's into our partners' control planes. So think of like VMware vCenter or Azure, Microsoft Windows Admin Center, or the Red Hat Web Console, integration into there on the vertical. But then we also expanded this on the horizontal. So think about a common building block where our Dell software-defined storage now spans all of these different offers. So now when you deploy an APEX Cloud platform, whether you're choosing Microsoft or Red Hat or VMware, or you're choosing all of them together, you'll have consistency in management, you'll have consistency in operations, and you'll have consistency in the software-defined storage from Dell that's running on all of these different platforms.
Okay, right. So as we have a lot of our viewers, they come typically from a VxRail / VMware kind of background. I just wanted you to maybe highlight what it means for VxRail customers, because there's a lot of questions how the ACP for VMware fits into the overall portfolio. Is like there transition happening, or is it like a side-by-side model? I think it would be quite interesting to expand on.
Yeah, absolutely. Customers have nothing to worry about the future of VxRail. As I mentioned, you heard the numbers I just said a few minutes ago. VxRail is very important to Dell, very important to our customers, and we'll have a bright future ahead of it. We're continuing to invest in VxRail. What we really did with the APEX Cloud platforms is supplement VxRail. We want to provide customers additional flexibility, saying, hey, if you want something, a different automated integrated platform that can run on Red Hat and can run on Microsoft and potentially other partners in the future, we're going to provide that capabilities. But if you're still standardized on VMware, you have that option to run it now on vSAN, which will still be supported by VxRail, but also you can choose the APEX Cloud Platform for VMware, which run on their own Dell SDS, and again provides additional incremental benefits because Dell is delivering the SDS. Those things being like the data mobility, on-prem and to the cloud. Those things being like the operational consistency across ecosystems, so multiple ecosystem support. Kind of our scalable enterprise SDS delivered in kind of a two-layer deployment model. So there's definitely some advantage, but it really comes down to flexibility and choice for a customer. And just like we have today in the portfolio, we have numerous different software-defined offerings, and that's why we're the leader in the HCI market space. It's because we have PowerFlex, Azure Stack HCI, VxRail, vSAN Array nodes. The promise we're providing to customers is that we will be your trusted partner and provide you flexibility and choice, regardless of the infrastructure you're choosing to deploy.
Awesome. So let's come full circle here, right? So the main topic for today is the ACP, or APEX Cloud Platform for Azure. We just fully made it available for customers earlier this week, and customers can now attain at least a first within the family, right? First being Azure, next will probably be OpenShift, and lastly will be VMware, right? Later on,
Yep.
as we move down the calendar year and into next year. So from an APEX Cloud Platform for Azure standpoint, what do you think, or how do you feel our customers should embrace that? How do you, in the development of the solution, we work closely with Microsoft, obviously, to jointly engineer, right? We were only using that jointly engineered term with VMware, but now we're able to use that jointly engineered comment with the ACP platforms as well. For those customers that already have maybe past solutions of Azure and now ACP for Azure, do you see any conflict? Do they work together? Do they work side by side? Kind of like similar to the question Ben just asked from the VMware side. I'm now going to ask you the question from the Azure side.
Yeah, so I from the Azure side, this is a ongoing partnership. Dell has been partners with Microsoft for many years, many decades. So the work we've done previously with Microsoft in kind of the Azure Stack space with our existing platforms, and those will continue to live on as well. This new partnership specifically with APEX Cloud Platforms for Microsoft Azure, it's kind of an evolution of that. It's kind of gone to that next level, and you hit it right in the head. Is that co-engineering, that level of engagement with Microsoft is something we've never done in the past. Like, we've always worked with them to qualify different solutions and integrate their capabilities into our portfolio, but this is where we've jointly worked with them over the past 18 to 24 months on developing a solution that not only brings the best of Dell's software and hardware capabilities and marries it to Microsoft software. It's not just a you know, a corollary to what we have today in market. It's actually an evolution. There's going to be some advanced capabilities that Microsoft has developed to enable more streamlined automation through deployment lifecycle, and beyond just that, the partnership that we've worked on together over the last several years is enabling Microsoft to have access to our code early, have access to our systems, so they can do full qualification when they come out with new patches, and they can come out with new releases, so that we truly have that co-engineer experience, so customers have confidence in that both Dell and Microsoft are working together to deliver them that kind of validated, fully automated solution.
So, Ash, you know, I know we've taken up a lot of your time. You're a very busy individual. We do appreciate you joining us today. For our viewers, please like, comment, subscribe. Anything that you would like to see, any additional conversations that you'd like to have, topics, please put it in the comment section. We do read those, and we respond to them. So, you know, we look forward to catching you guys in our next videos. Ash, again, thank you for your time. Ben, as usual, we'll be back at it next time. Everyone else, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.
Guys.